Wow, that's a really long video. I'm gonna have to cut that down. Hey guys, okay, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited today to share with you how my first week went. I already shared a little bit about how I was feeling the first 3 days in a couple of videos that I did earlier in the week, so be sure to check those out. Okay, but here we go. So the first week on the Starch Solution, what made it easy for me? I did bulk prep on my rice, on my potatoes, refried beans. I made them from scratch and did a big pot of those and stuck them in the fridge. I made my own pasta sauce, and I also made pico. So, and the pico recipe that I got is from a YouTube channel called Well Your World. You might want to check him out. His name's Dylan. He has an amazing picos. Rice, you can keep in the fridge. Potatoes, you can keep in the fridge. And the thing about potatoes is once you cook them, like I like to cut mine in half and cook them that way in the Instapot. You can cook a whole potato, cut them into cubes, however you want to do it. I like to half them because then if I want them cubed, it's easy to do. If I want them in steak fries, it's easy to do. If I want to do, mashed potatoes, it's still easy, or even a baked potato, they're already cut in half. And sweet potatoes, I also bulk prepped this week. So those are the things that I had ready to go at all times, and it made it so much easier than making a meal from scratch. And then when I cooked a meal, I cooked enough that I could eat on it for at least 2 days. So, for example, I had my rice already in my fridge and my refried beans, and then I made a can of corn one night and kept the leftovers, and I was able to eat on that for another meal. And then then all I had to do was heat up corn again. So, because I already had my rice and potatoes, and that gave me tacos for 2 days, and my husband was eating on it too. So that made it so easy for us to make a meal. Last night, it took me 10 minutes to make dinner because I had everything in the fridge ready to go. Keep lots of fruit in the house. So the fruit that I had this week in the house was bananas, oranges, strawberries, and blueberries, your typical fruits. Bananas are great because I use them in my oatmeal. I use them as a snack. They're so great just to grab when, it's kind of in between time and you get a little hungry. And then I also use them for my smoothies. Oranges are great to grab. You can take those on the road. If you're heading out somewhere, bananas and oranges you can grab and take with you. And I also had apples for that reason too. I have strawberries. I put those in my oatmeal and I had those for snacks. And then blueberries for oatmeal and snacks. And again, I use those mainly for my oatmeal. Okay, so another thing that I would say is keep it simple. I think this is where I fell short previously. When I've done this, I would start looking up all these vegan, whole food, plant-based recipes, and I would be trying to go like elaborate and make all these delicious meals. And it was just so much work. Another reason why you want to keep it simple is if you do start researching a lot of these recipes, they are delicious, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are filled with overit fats. So an overit fat is a fat that's healthy for you, like nut butters and nuts and avocado and things like that. So you want to look out for that stuff. A lot of it has dressings made with cashews or, cheese sauce made with cashews. And if you're trying to lose weight, you want to stay away from those overit fats. In your meals, you want to think of a base, and your base is going to be your starch. So is your base going to be potatoes, sweet potato? Is it going to be rice? Is it going to be beans? What is your base going to be? And then you could fill in with the non-starchy vegetables. And somebody that really helped me see how simple it really can be is a YouTube channel. Her name's Kiki. It's Plantiful Kiki is her YouTube. You want your plate, you want to have a 50-50 plate. And that is in the book, The Starch Solution. But I needed it pointed out to me, I guess. Okay, so questions that I've gotten this week. How can you lose weight on this diet eating so many carbs? That's the one that I've gotten the most. The other question that I've gotten is, where are you getting your protein? Well, I'm going to start with the protein question. So on page 83 and 84 and 89 in the Starch Solution, I'm just going to read you a couple of things. A diet with adequate but not excess protein derived from plants is best. So again, what they're saying is a diet that is that you meet your numbers but you're not going over them in plant-based protein is best for your health. So animal protein and plant protein are not at all equal at all. People living in many rural Asian societies consume 40 to 60 grams of protein a day, mostly from rice, other starches, and vegetables. So people in Asia, they're eating tons of rice, tons of other starches, and they're eating vegetables, and they're getting 40 to 60 grams of protein on average a day. Here on the western side of the globe, food choices typically are centered around meat and dairy, which are providing 100 to 160 grams of daily protein from animal protein, by the way, 2 to 4 times that consumed by Asians. It says those consuming the most protein are taking nearly 10 times as much of those in Asia who remain healthy. So we are overeating protein in our nation. We are overeating protein. We don't need that much. And again, remember, meat or dairy and meat protein is not the same as plant protein. It's not going to give you the same benefits as if you were eating plant proteins. So on the McDougall plan, you can expect to get 30 to 80 grams of protein a day. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the World Health Organization and all other international health organizations recommend protein levels ranging from 33 to 71 grams for adult men and women. So, who recommends us getting 33 to 71 grams a day? You can expect about that on this plan. And remember, back here it said that most Americans are getting 100 to 160 grams a day when you only need 30 to 80. Can you lose weight eating all those carbs? Yes, you can. On page 21 and 22, they talk a little bit about that. So satisfying the appetite begins to fill the stomach. And with potatoes and other starches, you are filling the stomach on much less calories than what you are with meat and dairy. It says compared to these, cheese has 4 calories per gram, meat has 4 calories per gram, oils have 9 calories per gram, starches only have about 1 calorie per gram. So the difference in that is incredible, and you're going to fill up. And the reason why we need these starches is because on vegetables alone, we're going to be hungry. We need something that's going to keep us satisfied, and starches can do that. There's a myth, right, that if you eat too many carbs, it turns to fat. I've heard that my entire life, and I believed it my entire life. Okay, so here's what they say about that. After eating, we break down the complex carbs in starchy foods into simple sugars. The sugars are then absorbed in the bloodstream. They are transported to trillions of cells throughout the body for energy. If you eat more carbs than your body needs, you'll store up to 2 pounds, just 2 pounds, of invisible, it goes in our muscles and our liver, not in our hips and our bellies. If you eat more carbohydrates than you can use, you will store it as glycogen, and you'll burn the remainder off as body heat and through physical movement other than sports, such as walking to work, typing on a computer, yard work, and even fidgeting. Okay, so you're going to store up to 2 pounds of excess weight from carbohydrates, and it's going to be in your muscles and in your liver. Everything else is going to be burned off. So I wanted to do a confessional time. What I did wrong this week. Okay, so I'm just going to put it out there. I'm human, and this is my first week back, and I'm transitioning. So be kind. I I did have some oil in my hard shells when I used tacos. I had oil and flour in the tofu dumplings that I was eating. I had those twice this week. They are vegan, obviously. Did have real peanut butter in my smoothie once, and then I switched over to the whatever that's called, the powder peanut butter, just to lessen the fat content in that. And then I did have some Oreos this week. I did not binge on them by any means, but I had 1 to 2 a couple times this week. But I will say last night, my husband, it's been like a nightly thing. He gets Oreos every night. And last night he said, I'm going to get some Oreos. Do you want some? And here's the beauty of it. I did not take any, but the real beauty was I didn't want them. I wanted some cutie oranges. So I said, get me 2 cuties. And bring me those. And when I was like peeling those up, I'm like, it's amazing. I really don't even want those Oreos. I want these oranges. I was craving it. So I found that my taste buds definitely changed this week. And I don't think I'm going to be going back for mini Oreos. At least that's my goal. And to truly transition, this is a transition. Body weight wise, I did lose, I don't know exactly where I started, but I lost between 4 and 5 pounds this week. I did not drink water like I should have. I actually have one here, and I needed a drink. I fell short on my greens. I fell short on my water, and I've got to give up those Oreos completely because, yes, they are vegan. By the way, if you didn't know, Oreos are vegan, but they're so not good for you. They're very, very processed, right? So we don't want to be eating those. And then the other big thing that I noticed was I struggle with joint pain and inflammation, or joint pain caused by inflammation. And my joint pain is gone. The bottom of my feet still hurt when I walk, and I know that's because of how heavy I am right now. And I do look for that to go away as I lose the weight. But as far as joint pain, I mean, I can squat down to my daughter's level. I can squat down and pet the dog now and stay there and pet the dog and get back up without hurting. I can go up and down the stairs without hurting. My headaches have gone away. That is my week in a nutshell. I'm going to leave you all with some books that I am reading, some cookbooks that I have purchased actually a long time ago that I pulled back out. And I'm going to leave you with 2 other YouTubers. Actually, this is their cookbooks that would be good to check out. But just remember, these 2 are amazing and they make some really good food. And they're great to follow. And I would highly recommend following them and watching their videos. But if you are trying to lose weight, just be careful with their recipes that calls for nut butters and things like that, avocado. You can omit it, change it, adjust it to how you like. But just be careful of that because that's what I did the first time and I actually was gaining weight a little bit. So just be careful with that. So the first guy, or the only guy, is Gabriel Miller. He is Plant-Based Gabriel on YouTube, Instagram, all the social media sites. He's Plant-Based Gabriel. And he has, and this is for beginners, he has some really, really good things here. One thing that I have pinned is the Hawaiian burgers. Eventually I'm going to try that. I haven't tried a whole lot in here. He also has a blueberry muffin recipe that once I get, closer to goal, or if I want a treat at some point, I might make those, but they are flours. You want to stay away from flours too. And a question that I sent to Kiki this week was, because she had a recipe for oat flour. And I said, I know I can have oats, that's a complex carb, right? But can I grind it down and make it into an oat flour? And is that acceptable? And she said, no, not when you're losing weight, because when you grind it down, it's not in its full form anymore. You want to eat things that are in their full form. Okay, so Gabriel, and then High Carb Hannah. Let me tell you about High Carb Hannah. She was the first YouTuber that I found, and this was years ago. She has amazing videos, and she really tells you like it is, and I like that about her. So the first cookbook that I purchased from her was the Let's Get Saucy. And it's just, you know, you guys, we need flavor on our starches. We need flavor on our vegetables. And so she has all kinds of sauces in here. And then even on some of them, she'll have her regular version, and then she'll have a skinny ingredient version. So like this one is her nacho cheese dip. At the top here, you'll see it says rich ingredients, which includes cashews and hemp seeds. And then she's got the skinny ingredients, which I think she used potatoes. Yeah, she used potatoes. So she does have where you can skinny it up if you are in that process in the beginning stages of losing weight. And then I also have her pressure cooking cookbook. My favorite recipe in here, bomb.com corn chowder. She has a video on this as well. You can just type in high carb Hannah corn chowder. It is amazing. And the only thing in it, it does have coconut milk. You can use the light version of that though. All right, thank you for joining. I will give you more updates.